Hey, what's going on? Good people, happy Wednesday.
Happy hump day. How we feeling, everybody? Happy New Year. Let's start
Yes,
there.
absolutely, guys. Happy New Year, new beginnings.
Yes,
And yes,
sir.
yes, as you all been waiting for new episodes of Tribe Called Wealth. Guys, we are on episode 5. And hey, let's clap it up for that, Jimmy.
Hey, we got to,
Because,
man, because,
you know,
believe it or
it,
not, a lot of people, they say they're going to start a YouTube channel, start a podcast. They all hyped about it. They do one episode and they be done.
yeah,
Most don't make it past the second episode.
or they do 4 episodes to be done. We
Right.
made it to 5. You know what I'm saying? So, man, guys, and that's a big thing. Celebrate your wins. I know we are in the middle of the week on this Wednesday, especially with the holidays and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into those topics. But man, guys, just check in, let us know where you are, how your week been. Guys, talk to us. I see we got some people chiming in, rolling in.
Nice.
What's up?
Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's New Year got off on a good foot. So definitely, it's all about momentum, right? And key to momentum is celebrate the small wins.
Man,
Can't stress that enough. If your
real.
New Year's resolution was to go to the gym and you went, you need to celebrate. That's a big win because you weren't going before. You know what I'm saying? If your goal was to, start being better with your finances and you started tracking your expenses, or you're just more mindful of your purchases, that's a win. Celebrate it. If you do any little thing that moved you closer to a goal, don't downplay what you did. Celebrate it like it's the greatest fucking accomplishment ever, and then build on it. That's how you get that momentum going.
Absolutely, straight like that. And it's ironic that you talk about those small things and building on it and things like that, because that's what we want to talk about today.
Absolutely.
As in the description, we got it's Wednesday, guys. It's the middle of the week, and we absolutely want to give you guys some tips, some encouragement, and some reinforcement on how to not only make it through this week, but start the next week with a kick-ass head start and attack it full force head on. So,
Absolutely.
Jimmy, you talked about the small things, bro. Let's start with that. Guys, something as small as making a schedule. And I'm gonna tell you the mistake I made.
Talk to us.
When I thought about making a schedule, I always thought it had to be, every second of every day type schedule. I was thinking more about filling up the time of the day versus actually having quality in my schedule, consistency in that schedule, right? So with that said, you don't necessarily have to plan out 7 days of the week, okay? But you identify a goal or identify some type of activity that you want to do, and you put that into a schedule and just be consistent with it, right? Whether it's once a week, once a month, once a day, twice a week, however you design it to be, make sure you set yourself up for success, right? So don't overdo it. Don't come out the gate talking about you're going to do 7 days a week in the gym, 2 hours a day, hour cardio, hour. No, right? We don't want to do that starting off, right? But we want to build to it. And it go back to the book, man, it's become one of my favorite books. I listen to it a lot. Atomic Habits, bro. Like,
great book.
Just change something small, right? And simple as just go to the gym every Wednesday. Just say, I'm going to go and stay for 5 minutes. You don't have to work out. You don't have to do anything. Just get up and say, I'm going to go to the gym at this time and stay for 5 minutes and get in the habit of that. And then as that becomes easier to accomplish, you add another day and or add some more time, right? So you do things that way. That's how you get those big goals accomplished without being overwhelmed by the size of them when you just starting off. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense. It's like I heard Will Smith say years ago. He was like, don't think about building a house. Think about laying each brick perfectly.
Right.
One brick at a time.
Right.
And absolutely. That always stuck out with me. And then I read some books. I read a great book called The Compound Effect.
Okay.
By Darren Hardy.
Okay.
And that's essentially what it talks about. It's those small wins over time, they compound into bigger results. So it's more about the consistency as opposed to trying to hit the home run. Because when you try to hit home runs all the time, what happens? You strike out.
Go down swinging.
Go down swinging, right? And a lot of people, they go down, they don't get back up. So you want to make sure that you're able to set yourself up for success. So you start small. And again, any sort of action towards the goal is worth celebrating. And what happens when you celebrate those wins is it does something to your brain that makes you want more. You know, they talk about dopamine, right? That's why social media is so addicting. It's like you want more. You want more likes. You want more engagement, right? You're just addicted to it. You get that notification. You have to hurry up and look. You get what I'm saying? Well, that's how our brains are wired. So we can use that same concept for our goals, where results are now addicting. You just want more. So you build on it. You get in better shape. So you can do, you know, more exercise. You can stay in the gym a little bit longer. You're fitting your clothes different. Now it's addicting. Now it's a lifestyle change. You know, that's not just working out. That's with your money. You'd be amazed how just some simple money habits can compound into thousands of extra dollars in your pocket, right? Just identifying little spending habits that you didn't think were a big deal, but were compounding and adding up, which was money going out the window that you could put back in your pocket or even invest it.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's absolutely 100% on point. Recently, right, these past couple months, I've made just a small tweak into some financial habits I had, and I'm seeing more of my money staying inside, right? Yeah. And guys, it's just as simple as that. And to go back to what I talked about, you know, earlier, about how you just change small things to achieve a big goal. And you know, just doing things with a focus, right? Like being intentional about things, you know, as far as expending habits, as far as, you know, not even spending habits, because to understand your spending habits, you have to track, right? Yeah. So goal is before that, even to create a budget, even to go online, physically type and go on Google and search and find and or create you a budget template. That right there is the change, a shift in the right direction of where you want to be and how you want to start to, you know, take control of your finances and be intentional about what you do. And that will spill over into other things, right? Such as eating habits. Man, Jimmy, absolutely. I know, you know, you could attest to this with you being in the field you're in. A lot of people want to change the way they look. They want to change the way they feel, right? Yeah. As far as health. And that's absolutely great. I get that. And one of the better ways to do it, right, is through a diet. And, you know, people, and myself, I'm included in this, and not just everybody else, myself as well. I like to think that I can just work out, but then I go eat, you know, what I want to eat. And it's like, you kind of burning at, you know, defeating the purpose to an extent. But my point is, if you take control of that diet, then you don't have to work out as intense as often. And those workouts you do, they get more results.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So, absolutely.
Yeah. So we definitely want to focus and change our eating habits and our eating focus. You know what I mean? Things like that. I mean, Jimmy, you speak about this a lot when we go do our webinars about how you were kind of hit with burnout, exhaustion.
Oh, yeah.
From lack of taking breaks, lack of resting.
Absolutely.
Right. And I know you always preach about that. You be on my ass about being, you know, getting rest and getting sleep and things like that. So I'm gonna let you just kind of take over that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we set goals, right? And sometimes we get a little too excited, and we live in a grind sort of world. Like we think more is better, right?
Right.
And you know, you hear all the motivational speakers on Instagram and the motivational posts, and you hear the stories of the Kobe Bryants and the Tom Brady's of, you know, work, right? They just grind it out. It's the only way you're going to get results. But that's not reality. And I'm a testament to that, because just me being an athlete, me being a competitor, I've always kind of hyped myself up like I'm going to outwork the next guy. Like nobody's going to outwork me. I may not be the best, but nobody's going to outwork me because I can control my work ethic. But see, the problem is when you do that and you don't let up, you do burn out. You do crash and burn. You have nothing left to give. And then a lot of times things you were working on could really come crashing down fast because you're not putting out your best effort anymore. You start to get frustrated because you're working so hard still and you're not seeing those results that you want. And before you know it, it just comes tumbling down.
Factuals.
And I have to remind myself of that. I do a bad job. We're not perfect, so I, definitely want to just let you know, like, it's something I have to be mindful of too. And not just even with what you're working on, but even with your body. Same thing with working out. Again, a lot of people, you touched on this, will think they can outwork a bad diet. Well, I ate bad, so I'm going to work out a little more. Or they have to go through these extreme sort of like HIIT workouts to try to, reach their physique goal. And they go to these extreme lengths and they just push. Or it's an athlete trying to get to the league and they think they have to work out 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They, always working. Well, what happens is same thing. Your body breaks down. And again, I'm a testament to that. I ruptured my Achilles 3 weeks ago. And I remember my buddy. So I've been doing a lot of healing and energy work, just working on things. And one of, actually I had 2 people tell me that my body's burned out. I had 2 people tell me that my body's just burnt out. Like I need to rest. And I didn't listen. And, I kept working out hard, and then my job is very demanding. I would train athletes. I'm a personal trainer, so I'm in the gym all day. And I got injured at work. And that was my body telling me, like, look, if you're not going to consciously sit down, I'm going to sit you the fuck down.
And that's what happens, bro.
That's what burnout. That's why these things happen, guys. So let me tell you how this works, because it actually was it Atomic Habits that talked about this. I forgot where I learned this concept from, but the body actually has a punishment system. So like we have a reward system, things that make us feel good. It actually has a punishment system to get us to stop doing things that we're not supposed to do. So like burnout is not necessarily like it's bad because we tend to try to push through it and it doesn't feel good. But the reason our body goes through that, it's telling us sit down, take a break. That's what it's doing. But see, we don't listen to our bodies.
That's the truth.
And I've been horrible at that. I'm getting better. I'm very mindful of doing it. The Achilles was kind of the final straw physically. It's like, all right, stop pushing yourself so much. It's okay. Yeah. Like you don't play football anymore. Let's dial back. You're going to be 40 in a couple of years. Let's dial back. But so again, what does this tie back to? It talks about being efficient, but also knowing when to take a break. Because when you take the break, it gives you a chance to recover. And when you recover, you come back better. When you work out, you break your body down.
Preach on.
Body down. So what happens is the body's broken down. It recovers. So when you come back to the workout, you're supposed to come back stronger because you've already stimulated with that. They call it, good stress. But you stimulated with stress. You broke it down. It recovers. So now it adapts to come back stronger. And that's how that's a life principle. Stress plus rest equals growth. There's a book about that called Peak Performance. Great book. Read it. Simple read. I think I read it in a day and a half. But that's what they talk about. Stress, which is your work, whatever it is, working out, business, relationships, stress plus rest. That's the recovery time. So you have to take a step back. That's how you grow. That's the formula. But see, the problem is we just stress. We just work. We think more is better. And then we crash and burn. And then most people ultimately quit.
This is true. And I'm going to add to that. Not only do they quit, but they tend to make up for that time of dieting by eating more. And essentially gaining more weight, becoming.
Oh, absolutely. I always say, not only does the weight come back, but it brings friends because they gain more weight.
Yeah. That's wild, man. So yeah, guys, we just have to be mindful, and that's why we want to come here, weekly and just connect with you guys, and shout out to you guys for listening and tuning in and rocking with us. What I mean? Absolutely, guys. You keep us honest, keep us motivated. and keep us coming back and doing research and bringing you guys more content and things like that. So we talked about taking breaks, so that's another thing too, and it's actually something, as you can see, you know, I'm doing my water.
There you go. I've
Staying
been back on my diet too, January 1st.
staying hydrated, man.
Back.
Like guys, hydration is so key. You know, it ties right into what you're talking about, Jimmy, about how your body needs to recover, right? Your body goes through these modes depending on what it senses from how you fuel it, right? How you treat it, right? Because the body don't have eyes and sense to know, okay, he's just being having a bad diet. It's like, oh no, something's going on. We're not eating. We need to go in, protect mode and store the fat, right? So we have to be mindful of what we put in our body, and a lot of that ties into our hydration, right? A lot of times we're not hungry, we're just thirsty.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that simple.
It's true.
It's just that simple. Like I think about all the damn extra meals I've bought, I've ate, I've consumed when I could have just literally got a glass of water and did the trick for me, right? Help me save those calories and those cholesterols and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So guys, man, water.
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 Yep. Got to drink water. And that's another thing that I've been really mindful of recently, is getting more water in me, and telling you, it helps. I tell people all the time is a lot of people would see a difference in their health just by being hydrated.
That's real.
Ask somebody how much water they drink, and, they guarantee they've had more drinks with caffeine in it than they've had, cups of water.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Right.
That's not good at all.
Right.
And I get it. We live in a fast-paced world. That's why it's all about kind of slowing down and being mindful and being prepared so we can do these things consistently.
Man. And there you go, which leads to the next thing, right? Exercising for energy, right? And I don't want the word exercise to scare people because that could be a scary term, right? Exercise for me doesn't mean beat the shit out your body, right? It doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, just, go until you throw up. Again, it's the C word, consistency, right? Yep. We want to be consistent in our workouts, which means not only consistent in activity, but consistent in the mindset. And I'm going to tell you, man, what I do when I'm working out, even though like I'm probably one of the bottom 5 least athletic person you guys know. So not the last though, but bottom 5. But what I do is when I'm working out, whether I'm walking, whether I'm doing some push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, my mindset is an athlete. My mindset is a go-getter, a gladiator. You know what I mean? And not to say I'm gonna just, hee-haw, no, but I'm gonna push, I'm gonna be consistent with my mindset. So now my body does things just without me having to think about it. And when I say does things, I mean I tend to stretch longer, right? I tend to finish the actual workout, right? I tend to actually be more consistent with it because I'm like, hey, this is my time to be athletic. This is my time to be, this world-class athlete that I know I got inside of me, and nobody knows because, I'm just not agile like I would like to be, right? So guys, just consistency, man. Just be consistent in your exercise, be consistent in your diet, be consistent in as many things as you can. And nothing big, small tweaks, really small tweaks.
Small tweaks, and you build on it.
See how it goes for you. See how you're able to manage your stress just by doing things like that. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, it's a game changer.
It really is.
See how better of quality of sleep you get. That's one of the bigger things I noticed. Not only am I sleeping, the hours more sleep, I should say, I'd be knocked out. I'd be
Right.
like knocked out, like deep sleep, like wake up, like, all right, damn, did I go to another world or what? But I'm rested, I'm rejuvenated, I'm focused, and I'm ready to attack whatever's in front of me. So
Yeah,
man,
that's dope, man.
Big.
And then, with that said, I think a huge part that people miss is have an accountability partner. Have somebody to keep you accountable. Because one thing I'll say about making simple changes and easy changes, and this is it's a really simple quote too. What's easy to do is easy not to do. So what that means is that, these are very simple things that anybody can do, but as easy it is to do it, it's just as easy not to. So, so having that accountability partner just really helps you keep these things on the forefront and, make sure that you're on point. Like, I have accountability partners. I'm a personal trainer. You would think that I'm self-motivated to work out. I am not.
Man,
I have a trainer.
I could tell you that's something that I think Jimmy. I'm like, Jimmy just walk in the weight room and then he likes smell greens, right? Like people smell like their favorite food. When Jimmy walk in the fucking gym, he just that's just the perception I get of it, bro. Like, I'm just
everybody
real,
Everybody's got that in me. And no, like I have a trainer. I work out with a group of men. It's 5 of us. And that keeps me, so days I don't feel like going, say maybe I had a bad day of sleep or just I got, just not feeling it, just it's like, no, I got to get there because they're going to give me shit if I don't go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a young lady who I've grown close to over the last couple months. She keeps me on point with water and nutrition. Cause again, like, leave it up to me. I'm going to eat whatever I want. And like, I'm human, like I'm on the go, I'm moving around. I got a lot going on. So maybe I'm stressed. So shoot, let me go to Chipotle a little extra, let me go grab a couple slices of pizza or the whole pizza,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But, she gets on me about like, Jimmy, like, all right. You're right. How much water do you have today? Shit. Let me go, let me go get a gallon. But even me, right? That's what I'm saying. So people kind of look at me like I'm just self-motivated, do things myself. Like, no, like I have people who, put a foot in my ass when I need to keep me, on point with things. And it just helps. Like this comment, accountability partners need to have aligned goals.
Yeah, I like that comment. And that comment actually triggered something for me. And I see we got over 10 people on this call. So listen up, guys. Let's do this. If you guys want to have an accountability call, okay, at least once a week, we could talk about 2 or 3. I'm with that, but again, we want to do small things to make sure we get them done. So if you guys interested in a accountability call once a week, drop a 1 in the chat for me. Let me know that you with it, and I will reach out to you or have somebody from the team reach out to you, and we'll get that started. Let's take action, guys. Let's do it. Drop that 1 in the chat and let me know if you're down. If I get 2 people, we'll start one this week. Well, this upcoming week. So I'm down. All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Nothing to it but to do it.
Got it. Accountability calls, guys. And again, like I said, we'll talk about what all we want to put in there and how we want to structure it, things like that. But for now, we just want to commit to doing it, and then we'll get it done as we get it done. So,
yes, sir.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Jimmy. But
no, you good, man. That's important. But yeah, like for real, like, and I first learned about like accountability when I hired a business coach, and he was big on that. And he said that like, if you're going to be a high achiever, you need somebody to hold you accountable, and the person holding you accountable has to be somebody important. They have to mean something to you for the most part, right? Somebody you don't want to disappoint,
right?
And that was deep and that's powerful. Like, yeah, he's right. Like, like a coach, a mentor, a spouse, whomever, like, they got to, because if it's somebody you don't care about, like you don't have a relationship, like, well, I don't even fuck what they think. Like, I'll just lie to them. But if it's somebody important to you, right, it means a little more. You get that emotion involved. And
Facts.
you're more likely to do it. So having that accountability partner is huge. And like things like group coaching, accountability call, that's why it's so valuable. It just keeps everybody on point, keeps everybody aligned, moving towards the right direction. And there's power in numbers too, guys.
Man,
Like we get like minds
I've
aligned.
seen so many, of the small groups turn into investment groups into big development projects, the big developers, and not just real estate, software developers. You got engineers, architects. There's so many avenues that a group of like-minded people can attack. And when I say like-minded, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was like, "I don't really want to do like-minded people, because I don't want people who like on my level. I want to learn from people and get people over my level, right?" So I'm like, all right, cool. That's one way to think of it. But I just want to be clear. When I talk about like-minded people, I'm simply talking about people who want to learn and grow, period. However, or what you want to learn, that's different. But I want to be around people who wants to learn and grow every day like myself. Because even though we're learning two different things, we can still learn from each other. We can still grow from each other. We can still, build each other, right? Because iron sharpens iron. So I just want to clear that up. When we say like-minded, I'm talking people who want to learn and people who want to grow, period.
Think about it. So I'm glad you said that, because some people get that confused. It's not necessarily about, like, oh yeah, like I want to be in a room with people smarter than me. Great. Absolutely. Right. When we talk about like minds, think in terms of values.
Right.
A bunch of people who have similar values that you have. You get what I'm saying? Like your growth, you have a growth mindset. You have an investor's mindset. You're about serving and helping others. Like the values are alike. It could be somebody that has way more knowledge than you in this area, but your values are alike.
Absolutely.
And you're going to learn, they're going to pull you up with their knowledge because you have the same values that they have. So you're going to connect and align, and you're going to receive what they try to teach you. If you two don't have the same values, you're not like-minded, and you're not really going to learn from that person. You may take a tidbit here or there, but it's not the same. And that's what you have to think when you talk like mind. Don't think about it as like intelligence level, or more than them, or they know more. Think about it as a group of people who share similar values.
That's real, bro. That's real.
What up?
Devontae, what's up, broski?
What's good? What's the word?
You know us, man. Just trying to say to people one person at a time.
One person at a time, Just trying to help the community.
It's good to see you, man. Good to, check in with you. But yeah, guys, again, our goal is not to come on here too long and kind of ramble, because I tend to do that. If you guys want to hear me ramble, that's great too. Send me a message.
We'll ramble some more.
Right. We'll set some up, but we do that. But we just want to add value to you guys, to help you guys as well as ourselves, right? Just be better and not only finish strong, but learn how to start fast, right? Because think about it, if you start fast, finish strong, that's a hell of a combination. All right. So we want to keep on elevating, we want to keep getting better every single day. If we get 1% better every day, by the end of this year, we'll be 365% better, right? So,
absolutely. I got one more point before we hop off. One more tip for you guys. So we talked about a lot what we should be doing, right? Consistency, accountability, scheduling. But don't forget this part. And this actually may save you more energy than being efficient, or maybe it'll help your efficiency. It's an interesting way to think about it. However, don't just focus on the things that you need to do. Start figuring out what not to do. What can you get rid of off of your plate that you're doing that you don't need to do?
Okay.
Start thinking about that, because all of us, every single one, we only have a certain amount of our energy is finite. It's going to deplete. So if we're wasting time and energy on things that somebody else can do, tasks that we can delegate, or tasks that aren't even important, well, now you're taking away from the energy that could be used that's going to allow you to live a better life. So think about that. What are some things that you can do, even if it costs you a little bit of money, that will free up your time and your energy to do something else that provides more value to your life. Can you pay somebody to clean your house? After I first paid somebody to clean my house, I'm like, man, I don't know if I ever want to clean my house again. You know what I'm saying? Like $200, man, they did a great job. You know, like, can you pay some, you know, some kids in the neighborhood to cut your grass? You know, like what, like stuff like that. Like if it's a $15, $20 an hour task, it's probably worth more of your time to just pay somebody else to do it.
Absolutely.
Save
Automation is key.
And now you can do other things. So just start thinking about that. Start thinking about, you know, what can you delegate or what can you just get rid of altogether? Yeah. And that's really, really, really going to free up a lot of energy for you. It's going to free up a lot of mental space and clarity for you to allow you to do those things that you want to do. If it's working out, if it's starting a business, if it's you just want a better relationship with your partner, you know, you want to, or you just want to enjoy more life. You know, you want to do things that get back to doing things you used to enjoy, but you feel you don't have the time to do it anymore. Well, let's look at some of the things that you don't need to be doing. Let's get that time back. So think about that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, what more could we say? You killed it with that, brother. I appreciate that. Figure out what not to do just as much as you try to figure out what to do. Well said, Jimmy. So we're going to end it on that note, guys. We appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate you rocking with us. Tune in next week and Wednesday, 7:35. We throw the extra 5 minutes in there to give us some time to kind of wiggle a little bit. But
I'm usually just getting home from the gym, getting everything set up.
It's crazy, right? So, guys, we are every Wednesday, 7:35. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel at Coach Burkett TV. At Ingrained to Train for Coach Jimmy. Subscribe, like, share the content. It helps support the channel and make it available for us to give you more content. So appreciate that, guys. Man, we got some people in the chats. I'm gonna double back to the chat and I'm gonna inbox you guys about getting on that accountability call. Let's get that set up within a week or so, and let's just again start making small steps to create big outcomes. All right. With that said, guys, you guys have a awesome rest of the week. If you guys need some help, feel free to reach out to myself, Coach Jimmy. We are here to help. You guys have a great one. Peace.
Check it out.